here comes something I can see.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is grey.
Before we go, Yasin, anything else to plug? Anything coming up that you wanted to share?
Come and see me in a club near you and eat your vegetables.
Eat your vegetables, you heard it here first. Hey,
Especially before you come into the club. Yeah. Before you get all unhealthy and all that.
It's Coburg Up Late.
ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the garage tonight. He's made underground anthems and pop hits for the past 20 years. His iconic single, Exceder, is one of the biggest and most recognisable club tunes of all time. He's played more than 1,000 shows in over 50 countries, and now he adds Coburg to his resume too. Please welcome, all the way from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, Mason!
Doof, doof, doof in the air tonight. House music from home never felt so right. Now your neighbors awake in the 3058. It's Coburg.
Hello.
Hello! You feeling caffeinated there, Yasin?
Yeah, up to here. That's always the good moment, right? So like, when you're a little bit over it, on top of it, and then it's all downhill from there. But
It's all downhill from here. This is the most energized we'll be for the next 61 minutes. I hope you're ready.
Very ready.
Yeah,
Always.
Now, you recently bought an espresso machine too, right?
Yeah. I got a really good one at home, and it's in my studio. And then, so I did all these sort of barista stuff. And then the good thing is like sort of that you drink really good coffee at home. But the bad thing is that you start to hate every coffee, apart from yours. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite every coffee.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, Yasin, it's obviously, it's not obvious. I'm going to tell you it straight, let you all know. It is an incredible honour for me to have you here today.
Oh, thanks, man.
I think I mentioned earlier when we were inside that during lockdown, your track, Given Up, essentially soundtracked the entire pandemic for me. And as you know, Melbourne got a pretty hardcore lockdown. So that was a real glimmer of sunshine. So thank you so much for that.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, and thank you.
It was made in lockdown as well. So,
You made that in lockdown?
Yeah. There's also a music video of me in lockdown.
I loved the music video, by the way. I loved specifically in that music video you getting an email from your manager saying, hey, I need another Exceder.
Well, I mean, I had that in my life a few times. Well, not per se from managers, but like that you did a remix or something like that. And then the label came back like, okay, we like it. Just a little bit more Exceder. And then you're
Really?
like, fuck, really?
Did you feel like you kind of got typecast into like guy that makes Exceder style music?
Well, not right now, but in 2006, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like the second or third record I ever released.
Yep.
So back then, people knew nothing about me apart from this.
Yep.
So, of course, they were like, oh, that's the Exceder guy, you know? But I think, or I'd like to think, that over the last sort of decades and something, or 2 decades, I kind of showed a bit more to myself.
Totally.
So I don't think people now would... So that's also why I can embrace the record a little bit more, because...
Yep.
You can imagine, like in 2008 or 9, at some point, I was like a bit sort of, hey guys, I also do other stuff. but you know, right now I feel like I can just sort of embrace it. It's fun that it's kind of back. And,
Totally, yeah. I mean, this must be like right now, 2024, for those watching along in some kind of future archive. This is a really interesting time in your career as well, right? Because there's essentially what a lot of people are calling the Exceder revival. Now, you mentioned that because you've obviously had such a robust and healthy career since the first Exceder came out, that you perhaps don't feel so pigeonholed in it. How has the Exceder revival served you? How has it changed things for you? What have you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, it's really bizarre and surreal, and I'm obviously very thankful, but it's just a very short time ago. It's now, while we're recording, it's end of March, and in February, in December, kind of, I saw like my Spotify kind of doing a little peak there, and on
So you found out through just like data.
Yeah, because I mean, it's obviously kind of a famous record, so it gets used for commercials and series and movies
Totally.
like regularly. So we kind of signed off the license a year ago, so I forgot about it for the Saltburn movie, and we just saw like it was just picking up stream. So I still have the text message to my manager saying like, hey, something's going on with Exceder. And like 2 days later, yeah, I think it's this movie where it's used in. I was like, oh yeah, that could be it. And and then it just started to roll like an avalanche, and sort of the right sort of TikTok generation picked it up. And
Aha.
but it was a bit of a perfect storm. you know, it was used 3 times in Boiler Room last year, and then Versace used it in a fashion show, and and when TikTok sort of starts to when that stuff starts to happen, then it's kind of gets its life on its own. Really.
But the perfect storm that you describe is weird that you've actually gone through 2 perfect storms though, because Exceeder the first time was also a perfect storm. Yeah. That like there had to be because if we can go through the timeline, from what I understand, you made it as a B-side. And people were more interested in that than the A-side.
Yeah, the A-side was an Italo disco record called Follow Me. Yeah.
Which is interesting because it really shows you that you cannot choose your audience. And you can't really dictate how your career is going to go, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it has... before that, we were running these parties in the Netherlands called Electronation with a crew of DJs. And it was like shitloads of parties. So it was sometimes like 3 or 4 in the weekends, a lot of times like simultaneous on one night, like one in different city, and that kind of picked up momentum. And from the bunch of DJs, I was kind of the producer. And
Sweet.
So Exceeder kind of came on because I was more always on the happy, uplifting side of the bunch. I mean, some were playing really dark stuff. Yeah,
and you were like, I want to make a song that sounds like you're on a fucking rocket ship.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a song that sort of also kind of represents that sort of vibe we're doing everywhere, you know, with these electronation parties. So so it was just the right timing, I suppose, and I was a bit lucky. And and then kind of afterwards, that electro thing became more commercial and more of a Ministry of Sound sort of friendly thing. Yeah,
the perfect storm that I speak of is, of course, the B-side went down really well. But then shortly afterwards, there was a bootleg made... Princess Superstar.
Yeah.
There was a bootleg made with her vocal on it, but just like by a random person on the internet, right?
Yeah.
That you kind of saw an opportunity with the Ministry of Sound in England to actually make officially, right?
Yeah, yeah. So the instrumental was kind of doing everything it could for a summer in 2006. So it was like the sort of the big Ibiza anthem and was for weeks on #1 and Beatport and all that. So
for the record, I prefer the instrumental.
Okay, it's noted. So yeah,
just so you all know at home,
this guy. For sure. I'm not going to say anything.
We'll chat about this afterwards.
But
I feel like your silence speaks volumes.
Well, I mean, we felt like it makes sense to now do something for radio. You know, it kind of made sense if you have such a big electronic record.
Yep.
So we tried all sorts of things ourselves, and kind of all sucked. I still have it on my computer, like all these kind of singer-songwriters that got into my studio.
Really?
Everything kind of didn't really connect.
Oh, so the original plan was not to do a Princess Superstar.
Yeah, so we just sort of we're just messing around, really. And this bootleg, I mean, there were a lot of bootlegs on the internet.
Okay. This is kind of pre-virality. It's kind of at the beginning of things going
like
viral.
Blogs. Yeah,
Bloghouse. Yeah.
Blogs were doing well.
Yeah. Which I'm sure was probably a big part of your success as well. No doubt blogs getting behind Exceeder.
It was the time of blogs and MySpace. Like, some people put it on their MySpace song. Props to everybody who put Exceeder on their MySpace song.
Yeah, I'm going to say, we've actually got Mason's MySpace link right here if you just want to chuck him a follow.
I lost all those fans, like, on MySpace.
Yeah, is that what happened?
Yeah. Anyway, then we sort of, the Prince Superstar Fun 1 worked. We reached out. We did it officially, mixed it officially, produced officially, and then,
I can see that you're still in touch with her.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially right now. Yeah, with so much going on now because we're doing all these press and things together.
So do you guys gig together? You play shows together?
We have never, and we're still talking about how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now we also think we should do like a really weird or industrial or ambient record together, like something the very sort of opposite. And she's really down for that sort of stuff.
Keep the people guessing. Well, actually, that's interesting because I feel like something that defines you, the Mason outside of Exceeder, which you and I both know there's so much more to you, is that you're averse to rules and genres. You're essentially like, I don't think you could pigeonhole you. In fact, when I was preparing music to play with you today, I was like, what the fuck do I even fucking play with this guy? Yeah. Because it's such a vast and eclectic range of music that you can't really pin down. Like, how would you describe like where you are at musically currently?
Well, I suppose I'm somewhere between house and disco and electro, and always a little bit left of center, a little bit.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so a bit indie-ish. But I mean, I also like pop music. I produce and write a lot of pop music, and I kind of like the sort of area where the two things sort of intersect when it's done in a tasty way, because I think a lot of times it's not.
Yes.
And, so kind of that's I feel comfortable there, and I'm kind of I find genres just a bit boring. So I would sort of. I ignore genres as much as possible. Yeah,
that's interesting. I think, I mean, I hear you. I find genre is really important to know what rules to break.
Exactly, and I think it's same with trendy stuff. You know, like if a certain sound, a certain bass, whatever bass sound or a hi-hat is trendy right now. A lot of people would kind of then use that because it really works now. And for me, it's exactly the opposite. I kind of think, oh, this is like the thing that people are doing, so I should avoid it. So it's more like
you heard it here first. An insight behind the curtains. That's how he's working.
I mean, I really follow what's going on in dance music. I listen to all these programs every week, and so. But not to copy it, but just to like
learn what not to do.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and
but it's not always the easy road. I mean, if you're in one lane, let's say you're a techno producer, you know, okay, these are the techno labels I need to reach out at. These are the artists I need to associate with. These are the festivals I need to play at. Yeah. You know, it's very sort of linear, and it's sometimes. You know, I also sometimes shoot myself in the foot with being not in one sort of genre box, but it's kind of makes it more interesting for myself.
Totally.
And it's at the end of the day my life. And, you know, I don't need. I'm fine with what it is now. I don't need private planes or any.
Right. Well, I was going to ask. I thought, like, do you think by like committing to a life of diversity and not necessarily staying in one lane, has that opened or closed more doors for you?
Probably closed.
Really?
But I really don't
That's
care.
fucking sad, isn't it?
No,
it's like,
it's
hey,
not.
I'm committed to being unique. And they're like, sorry, mate, we want 135 BPM techno that sounds like Tool Room.
But, you know, fuck it. You know, I can live from music for the last 20-something years and full time. And, you know, as long as that's the case, the rest is all, you know, it's at the end of the day, I need to kind of have a good time in my studio and when I DJ. And, you know, and it's great that people like it and that I can make a living of it. But it's not, you know, I don't sort of cater to a certain audience, you know. It's just what I want to express. It's art at the end of the day, right? And I feel I feel like a lot of people make it more sort of what's the English word for it?
What's trendy? What's cool, you know?
Yeah, and then it's a different type of art, but this is my road and it feels good for me, and and it's not like one conscious decision that I think I'm going to be a stubborn bastard. It's just like this just feels like a million times I've made the same sort of decision to kind of just do my thing. And
well, on your road, when I use the analogy, the metaphor of the road, I am honoured that our highways have intersected for the next hour, and we are carpooling for the next 48 minutes. Now, do we have anything prepared, or are you just going to fucking wing it?
Let's go. Yeah.
Here we go. We have got Yassen, a.k.a. Mason, all the way from the Netherlands. It's a total honour. Take it away. Can I say I appreciate an opening song that doesn't start with a beat. Gives you somewhere to go.
Bye. Amsterdam 3200. Electro. Bye. Dance for night.
I'm getting boys noise, my moon, my man vocals from that vocal there.
Bye.
away, what I've noticed is fast mixing. Is this generally what you gravitate towards in a club set?
Yeah, quite fast. Yeah.
Is that, and what's the motivator of that? Is that because you can't stay in one lane, to use the road metaphor?
I try to keep things dynamic. I'm not the type of DJ to play 7 minutes very druggy records. You have all sorts of DJs, and this is the kind of DJ I am.
Totally. And I mean, the way that this particular style of music is designed is it's very like up and it's down. It's like, give us the moment, now give us the next bit of candy, you know?
Yeah, I suppose I'm a little bit better DJ between 11 and 2 than at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know?
When you do what you do, you make me want to shoot.
Like, mate, I've got my own. Hey, Yasin, before you mix it in, because I've noticed that you're a fast mixer, so we're going to be on fire today.
Yeah, go.
Now, Animal Language is your record label.
That's right.
Am I right in saying it's essentially built for yours and other productions that do sit, as you said, left of centre?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's really kind of gives a lot of freedom to have your own label, to kind of be able to release whatever you want when you want it. Because sometimes records are a bit,
Totally.
out there, and then it kind of...
I'm going to give you some advice. The closer that is to your mouth, the better. Please don't eat the microphone, sir.
Yeah. Sometimes it really helps to have a label where you can do your own thing. For instance, I did a few years ago something with a symphonic orchestra.
Wow, which symphonic orchestra?
Yeah, it's a Metropole Orchestra.
Wow.
And it's kind of the type of music you couldn't release on Ministry of Sound, let's say.
Sure.
So, to have your own label is great. And sometimes I pick up records from other people that I really like, that I feel deserve like a platform. And we do our little guerrilla raves with it.
I see you've been doing these cafe raves, right?
Yeah, the cafe raves. It's kind of... We first had club nights, but I thought it was a bit boring at some point. So we're doing like this thing.
Hold on. Yes, can you tell us what this cafe rave is?
Sure. Well, I guess you guys know these really horrible bars, where like only one alcoholic and there's nobody there, empty bars. You must have them in Australia.
Oh yeah, I mean every single bar is that.
Well, we go to 4 of those bars on one night, and we bring a few hundreds ravers and a sound system on wheels.
So the bar is more than happy to accommodate you then.
Yeah, so there's like one person at the bar, and then all of a sudden with a few hundred we run in, rave for an hour and go to the next, rave for an hour, go to the next.
So it's kind of like a flash mob?
Yeah, but we do it for 10 years, so we go
a
everywhere.
10-year flash mob.
And sometimes we go to like dance in a pizza parlor or in like a cafeteria from a restaurant.
Oh my god.
A swimming pool last week.
You did a swimming pool last week?
The cafeteria, yeah. So people were like doing like training, and on the side we're like.
What time of day is this?
evening till late at night. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And as we know, you best operate between 11 and 2, so I'm sure it was a
Right,
conservative hour.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, hey, I'll stop you talking. I'm sure you're already getting anxious going, hey man, this song's been on for 3 minutes. We've got the amazing Mason on Coburg Up Late. Thank you so much. We're doing a last-minute headphone adjustment. I like that this doesn't drop on the one. Spoiler alert. Got another one, my friend. Hey, I'm just gonna fuck with your convention of mixing all the time. Also, I noticed firstly, you're counting up. Is that normal for you?
I gotta switch halfway.
Yeah. Wait, is that what you do?
Yeah.
So why do you do that because you know the song so well that you know when like, for example, when the bass comes in at 60 seconds? Like, what's your reasoning for counting up then counting down?
Sometimes for the intro, I know like it's 45 seconds or a minute or something like this. And then on the end, you want to know how long it still lasts.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You started learning the violin at age 6.
That's right.
And that took you to some pretty interesting places.
Yeah, so I have like this classical training. I mean, when I was 15 and 19, I started to DJ as well, but I was always still playing violin as well. And at some point, I also did electric violin, and I was for a while Tiësto's violin player. And it's warm-up DJ, yeah.
Can we just pause on the fact that it was, I played for a little bit, then I did a little bit of electronic violin, and then I was the biggest DJs in the world violin player. How did you link up with Tiësto? What happened?
Well, I was already kind of touring for a while internationally. So from like 99, I was already playing.
So you were touring, DJing?
Yeah,
Okay.
with violin and DJing together.
Oh, you were like playing violin for your own sets?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Sweet. Were you, to your own productions?
More other records. Yeah.
Okay, but you just like find out what key it was in and jam over the top.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a little bit before I was a producer or like good at producing. And kind of Tiësto saw me playing in Peru.
Nice.
And then he said, "Well, why did you want to?"
Wait, where did he see you play?
Peru.
So you got a Dutch guy sees another Dutch guy playing in fucking Peru.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think this is a little bit of hometown nepotism here. Is he also from Amsterdam?
No, he's not. No.
Okay, then I'll allow it.
Yeah.
And then he saw you, and then what happened?
He basically invited me, "Do you want me to be my violin player?" Because we had like violin players before, but they never really got dance music, or they didn't really sort of get it.
Okay.
And then for a year or so, I toured with him, which was really nice.
Sweet. Now,
Yeah.
was this because I know obviously a massive Tiësto tune was all around the violin. That is adagio for strings.
I think it was a little bit before that.
Okay.
It was 2004.
Okay, so and what was touring with Tiësto like, playing violin for him?
Yeah, great. I mixed one record.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Mason on Coburg Up Late.
So where was I? Yeah, violin. Well, at some point I felt a little bit like a monkey, circus monkey. You know, like
Like do the
much.
trick?
Yeah. So, and
That actually sounded like a monkey. Do the trick.
and so and
That's gonna make a great grab for Instagram.
at that point, kind of my record started to go well. So I kind of left my violin at home and.
Oh, so Exeter, you mean? Exeter started going well?
Yeah, and first few records.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So-
Sorry, Tiësto. I'm actually becoming famous on my own.
I just sort of went to different roads and I obviously played different music. You know, I was never a trance DJ, so
Sure.
so that was good. And
I'm sure the background in trance informed you, even subconsciously.
well, more the classical. You know, 20 years of classical violin playing.
Totally.
So I have a lot of harmonic background, let's say. And,
Yes.
You know, I know my classical stuff.
Yep.
But at some point I was also a bit fed up with the whole classical world. You know, the recitals and playing endless Bach partitas.
Yeah. Dude, I think classical, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think classical and dance music are so much more linked than people give it credit. I think a lot of people just immediately think of the aesthetic, which is incredibly different. But if you think about a lot of like a dance music mix, then dance music is designed to be heard in a sequence as part of a movement, you know, like almost a symphony, if you would.
Well, I mean, it has a lot of rules, both of them, and it's very sort of mathematical in a way.
Yes.
I'm very busy now with jazz piano.
Oh, fuck yeah. Just add jazz to the resume.
Well, and it's kind of. And it has so much freedom, you know, and I kind of enjoy the freedom so much. Like harmonic, timing-wise, timbre, you can go anywhere. You can throw in like a stupid happy birthday melody and can tear it apart like you know, it's elastic.
Didn't Mozart write Happy Birthday?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I think when he was 7 years old. Please don't Google that because I might be wrong. May I?
Yeah, go.
Thank you, sir. Talented and polite. I really like that vocal. Hey, I think it's good to mix on. We're gonna grab it. I grabbed the wrong bit of the bar. I was meant to grab the hey, but I grabbed the goo. Sorry, everybody, playing along at home. It's a bit of that disco house we were talking about earlier.
We could do some disco house.
We can do some disco house.
Okay, I'll go to a different folder.
Let's do disco house in my house. Do you know what we have in common?
The hair color.
Yeah, we've just color graded it differently.
Yeah.
Yasin's actually a ginger. You're training for an ultra marathon next month.
That's right. Yeah, how do you know?
You put, I don't know, like, so it's almost as if you're broadcasting to your entire fan base.
Yeah, it's my kind of freaky little hobby, yeah. Yeah.
So how long have you been training, man?
Running since, like, I don't know, 15 years or so.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So I've done my share of marathons, but I became a bit sort of, at some point I couldn't get faster anymore, because I'm quite old.
Okay, I can relate to both points, actually.
Yeah, so at some point that felt a bit frustrating, and I got my second child, and I was like, I'm gonna stop with the competing, getting 5K or 10K as fast as possible. So now I'm kind of like the challenge of going really long.
Wow. How
Yeah.
far is this ultra? Because an ultra is technically anything over 50K, right? How far is this one?
42K, yeah. This one is 60.
Wow.
And we did last year one from Amsterdam to Germany, which was 110, but in the weekend, so from Saturday, Sunday.
Fuck yeah.
So in common, you as well?
That's incredibly impressive, though. That's awesome. I'm training for an Ironman.
Oh shit! Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So,
The whole thing.
what's that? Sorry.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. So there's no ultra marathon in it. There is a marathon at the end.
Yeah.
But I understand.
Just a little marathon on the end.
Just imagine getting to the end of a 3.8K swim, a 180 kilometer bike ride, and then saying, "All right, now run a marathon."
Yeah. So where's your Garmin?
So the reason I don't wear an Garmin or an Apple Watch is because I'm a social media addict. And I would be constantly looking at this. In fact, I'd be the guy filming Coburg Up Late and halfway through the interview going, But I wish you the best with it, man. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
will never turn back no more.
Says I'll never turn back.
No more. Oh yeah.
This is dope.
Jake Rossa.
Turn to me, saith the Lord. Backsliding children, won't you hear my word? For you see, I'm married unto you. I'll deliver and strengthen you. Now I can say that I'm back in the race. Fully supported by love and grace. I'll never turn back no more. Oh no, I've gone too far.
I can hear the same guy that loved his positivity, loved that optimism in music. It's still got that, you know?
Turn back no more. Turn back no more. I've gone too far. I'll never turn back no more. Ooh, Lord. Turn back. How about you? I never turn back no more. Put your hands together. How about you? I never turn back no more. Put your hands together. How about you? I never turn back no more. Put your hands together.
I found a thread that links all of the music that you're playing so far. You're a man that loves a hard snare drum. A hard snare drum. Big fat snare. Am I right?
Could be, well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe subconsciously, yeah.
You had a massive song in the top 40 in the Netherlands, Are You Ready? With your vocal trio,
Yeah.
the Masonettes.
Yeah, I like to keep things kind of nice for myself. Yeah, so this was my vocal group. They did dance routines, like close harmony singing. It was a bit sort of Motown-y with house music, I don't know.
What was the inspiration?
Yeah, I just wanted to do something different when COVID stopped. You know, I was bored, doing DJ for so long, so I thought, like, let's do something else. And I didn't want to do any covers or famous records, so I wrote all these new sort of close harmony records. And
Sick.
Yeah, it was really nice, and we did a while of that.
Yeah, was there any scope to tour with the Masonettes?
Yeah, we did it in the Netherlands, yeah. Super nice,
sweet.
yeah. And there was like this whole circus of choreographers and all these people involved with it.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so you didn't write the dance, the other people actually made the
thank
dance.
God. Yeah, no, yeah. Little edit.
Oh, you're at it?
Yeah.
Aha, so we can actually see here, it says home master, so you
Yeah.
mastered this at home.
Yeah, so this is world. They probably don't like me playing this, actually.
You heard it here first, we have a world exclusive. Tell us a little bit about the track.
Well, it's this record, Riva Stringer, in a sort of my own version. I did take it down 15 BPM or 14 BPM.
Oh, so this was actually quite,
It was a trance record, yeah.
aha, there's that trance background again.
Yeah, by the guys behind Chocolate Puma as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
Well, anyway, so I made this version.
Sweet, man, it sounds fucking great. And thank
I
you.
even had it even lower. There was like 20-something BPM slower. It came really in sort of the Tolteria Lindstrom area.
I love Lindstrom. Lindstrom and Christabel, by the way. Aeroplane, all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's keep it going. Man, I am sweating. How are you? What's the perspiration like in here? You good?
I'm good, thanks.
Is this the kind of music you're playing on your tour at the moment?
From here to a little bit more energetic, I suppose. So I suppose as a producer, I also go to different tempi, and go slower sometimes and more
Totally.
poppy. But as a DJ, I try to keep it sort of energetic.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think there's an expectation of you to like play club-ready floor fillers?
I think on the dance floor you need to have fun and it needs to be a party, So it's kind of what I want to dance to on myself at the dance floor.
Yeah. I was going to say, you actually, I mean, given the fact that you've already told me about like 2 series of parties that you've thrown consistently for essentially what sounds like your entire life, it feels like dancing and partying is actually quite an important part of what you do.
Just for to have fun, from all the mundane life. And, I think that's sort of one of our roles as a DJ. And so, some of the music I make is maybe more to listen to in your car or at home or Spotify. And I would have to, some of them I bring into sort of remixes for my DJ sets and say.
So, and when you're touring right now, are you feeling that sense of party and fun?
For sure, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for having a little party and some fun with me. I'm still getting thrown off by the fact that this is counting up. I'm like, I've got 5.5 minutes to go. Oh no, I have 60 seconds. Here we go. It's just Mason trying to sabotage me. You just want to make me look worse than you. I get it. Hey, something else we have in common is we both love Colombo and Lulu players.
Oh, those guys, yeah.
They are fucking...
Don't get me started.
Yeah, okay. Ready? Start.
Well, I know them forever, from...
Oh, you know them personally?
Yeah, very well, yeah. From way kind of before they kind of had their moment. So let's say from the late 90s, early zeros.
Oh, cool. So they've also been around for a really fucking long time.
They've been around, yeah, they're my age. They're also super old. And and they just, they keep on doing what they do. And at some point, just took off, at least South America. They're massive in South America.
Yeah. Are they Belgian? Yeah. Okay.
And they just have their own sounds, and we did a lot of parties together. We organized a few of them together at ADE and at Sonar in Barcelona and a few of these.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're lovely, lovely guys. And props to Jerome and Colombo, Olivier.
Did you, you had a track, I think it was one of your bigger tracks, feature on Lulu Records, right?
Yeah, shall I play it?
Yeah, I would love that.
Let me try to find it, though.
Yeah, I remember in my dance music renaissance, which, let's be honest, is never ending, I used to listen to Colombo's monthly SoundCloud mix, and it was just an hour of fun and restraint, and every 5 minutes is a new burst of fun, and then it go back to restraint, and then there's some fun again. I don't know, did you have a similar experience with him?
Yeah, and also his sound is kind of unbeatable almost, like how he produces. It's so creative, and it's very well dosed fun. It's fun, but it's also still kind of cool and underground, and it's both.
I like what you just said about well dosed. Do you think that that's an important part of dance music?
Well, he does it in Lulu players as well. They kind of have their own. They keep it subtle,
Totally.
Maybe I'm much more all out. They're kind of keeping it very sort of the right dose, and it's kind of cool for underground, and it's cool for druggy people, on the dance floor, as well as drunk people, having fun. So it's really great. Found it.
You've already got headphones on. Mate, I've been on the phone before looking for my phone. Sorry, I can come in a sec. I just got to find my phone. Where is this fucking thing? We got 15 minutes left with the master. Thank you so much for this. This has been so much fun. I see it says DJ Edit. Have you created an edit of this specifically to play live? You can tell me about that in a sec. Dude, this is so Lulu Records. It is. This is that dose of fun I was talking about. If I heard this in a Colombo or Lulu players mix, I'd immediately go, "What the fuck is this?" You know?
No, I mean, yeah, this is one of the records that I really made like within sort of 2 hours, and it became
cool.
a Beatport #1. And everything. So
Isn't
it's
that
really
cool
nice.
when that happens?
Yeah.
When something it's like otherworldly is channeling through you, you know?
Yeah, we had to find a kid though that sounded a little bit like MJ, because it's
Oh, do you mean the vocal?
yeah,
It does. It sounds like a MJ Jackson 5 era.
exactly ABC, right? But we had to kind of change the notes, had to re-sing it by some UK boy who was like sort of this old.
Oh, so you actually recorded someone doing this?
Yeah. Yeah,
the track-
I always do. I work with a lot of vocalists and instrumentalists.
Yes.
I'm very far away from the whole sample library vocal kind of thing.
Yes, yes.
I've never ever in my life used
You've never used samples.
vocal samples. And no.
Really? So now you alluded to something earlier when we were just in the kitchen. Your track "Given Up," which also was a Beatport #1. You've had a few Beatport #1s, including what we're listening to was the #1 song on Beatport. Your track "Given Up," I thought was such a beautiful vocal sample, but you told me it's not a sample.
It's not a sample. I mean, sample for people who don't know is like an old record where you just cut a bit and use it in your record. But when Given Up, it was like the tape reels, the actual recording of every separate instrument from the 70s. From this, So I had like all these separate trumpets and saxophones and drums and
You had
strings and-
every single stem. How do you even get that from the 70s though?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a miracle, and it's kind of the wet dream of every producer, because then if you only have one stereo file, you can only cut it into bits. But now I can say, okay, I'll take that vocal, put it on this string, put it on this thing. and-
Wow. Yeah, because I mean the world's changing now with like the advent of AI. People can essentially like grab a WAV file as long as it's like good quality, and they can like isolate a vocal.
And it's really cool that it's possible, but it's not the same as the actual recorded, with a vintage mic, a string section. AI does a good job, but doesn't sound that good yet.
So are you saying, so when we hear "Given Up," your massive single, that's actually just a rearranged song from the 70s where you had all the original parts and essentially remade it, rebuilt it?
Well, yeah, and then I added like 50 on my own channels, obviously, as well. But yeah, basically.
Now, I hope you don't mind. I just had to the song looked like it was about to do something cool, so I just wanted to pause so we could get back to the coolness.
All right, fair enough.
This is sick, Yasin. Thank you so much. We've got Mason on Coburg Up Late. Let's go. There's that big snare. I told you. What?
Sorry about that.
There's an Aussie act called the Aston Shuffle.
Props to the Aston Shuffle.
You know the Aston Shuffle?
Of course I do.
Okay. Do you remember their song?
They were one of the first to have like this massive Spotify playlist. Like when Spotify just started, I was always checking into the Aston Shuffle Spotify playlist.
Oh, sweet. They're from my hometown.
Oh, yeah?
They're a Canberra act. I remember they had a massive electro house single, probably a similar period as Excedo, where build, and then like 30 BPM slower and just funky, chunky hip-hop beat.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh, hang on, we're back, baby. Hey, take us home, by the way. We've got 8 minutes. You can play until the end. Let's go. We got Mason on Coburg Up Late, tearing it up. Aston Shuffle for everyone. I give you permission to open up another tab and load that on YouTube and listen to that afterwards. Hey, I have a controversial question. I wasn't sure if I was going to ask you this, but fuck it, we got 7 minutes.
Sure, yeah.
In the spirit of you not ever sampling and working with vocalists instead, you briefly worked with American hip-hop artist Azealia Banks.
That's right. Yeah.
What?
I do a lot of sort of sessions with all sorts of people.
Okay.
I kind of try to do like numerous a month. So I just make a lot and then I only release very little.
Oh,
so
cool.
I did with Dizzy Rascal this month. And a few others.
You worked with Dizzy Rascal this month?
Yeah. And
That is awesome.
But I just it doesn't mean it gets released. You know, it needs to be the best thing to release it. And
Sure. So you're saying that we're really only getting a tip of the iceberg with your
maybe
releases?
like 1% or so. Yeah.
How does that feel? Like knowing
I
that there's...
think a lot of people are very lazy and they just make something and linearly finish it. But I think it's about a good idea. So I just keep the tap open and create.
Keep the tap open. I
And
love
kind of
that.
train it as a muscle, you know? You
Okay.
can need to make and then you can, it flows also better.
Would you say that's a pretty tangible piece of advice to offer to young producers?
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's at the end, everybody can make something that sounds fat, but it's about a good idea, you know? And it doesn't come around often. So you kind of need to make ideas, you know, make an idea an hour, save it, and then make another idea, another idea. And if you make 40, there's going to be one that's awesome, and the 35 are going to be kind of crap and few are mediocre. And then if you pick that one that's awesome, and give that all the 3-day love to making it sound fat and arrange it well. So, I mean, that's kind of a linear process to make it that way. So you can do that with any record. I rather kind of save that time for the right vocal and the right hook or the right melody. And all that.
Was Exceeder a product of 1 in 40 attempts? Or have you adopted that philosophy over your career?
Yeah, a bit over my years. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you dodged the question. What happened with Azealia Banks?
Well, I mean, the honest answer is that we were ready to go on Island Records. Promo was done, the record was done. It sounded really good, to be honest. And she started to get on this Twitter rant for 24 hours, sort of bashing, sort of like all homophobic stuff and all that sort of stuff, and like bashing a lot of countries and artists and things. And then
That's so strange.
Kind of left us no choice that we couldn't release it anymore. You know?
Okay, so it was kind of like a political reason that you couldn't release the track. Was there scope to do it with...
And an ethical one, yeah.
Yeah, and an ethical one. Okay, was there scope to do it the same idea with somebody else?
Nah, I mean, it's rapping, so you don't sort of copy somebody's verse.
It's like me getting there. Yo, I am Azealia Banks.
Yeah. No, but I did the same record then with Steph London, you probably know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she then did also a great rap on that same track.
Okay, and just without the homophobia. Perfect.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I play a lot in the LGBT world, and especially with the disco stuff. And
Totally.
yeah, so that sort of was no option.
I remember Azealia Banks actually came to Australia and played in Brisbane and then got on her high horse about how she hated Australians.
Well, there you go, you know, and I don't know, I just sort of can't associate myself with that sort of stuff.
Totally. Well, I think you made the right decision. I had to turn us down. We had to hear that story. Thank you for sharing, by the way. I appreciate it. We got 5 more minutes with the Great Mason on Coburg Up Late.
Hands over your head, baby.
I just noticed you actually do flip the time mode halfway through the track. That is fascinating. I've never seen a DJ do that before.
I don't think about it. I just don't about.
Okay, yeah, because it's like, I guess we all have our habits in like setting up for the next mix. And for you, it'd be halfway through, flip the time over. It's one of my favorite things about doing this show is seeing how world-class DJs DJ. And everybody's different. There's no one right way to use these tools. Big snare drum. I love DJ Glenn.
Shout out to DJ Glenn.
Yeah, you're mates with him, aren't you? Just casually. What have you chosen to close with today, Yasin?
It's DJ Glenn's edit bootleg of California Dreaming.
Oh, California Dreaming, like
Yeah.
the Beach Boys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know it's been done in sort of big room ways last year, or 2 years ago, but I think he did a very original take on it.
Totally.
By starting with this solo. And,
Yeah. Is he Dirty Bird? DJ Glenn?
Also, yeah, we did a record together on Animal Language. We did an EP together, and he did a single on Animal Language as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so your history with DJ Glenn goes a fair bit back then.
Well, it's just a few years, but we really connect on a musical level, I think. And
Awesome.
personal as well.
Awesome. Yeah. I love him as well. Here comes something I can see.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray.
Before we go, Yasin, anything else to plug? Anything coming up that you wanted to share?
Come and see me in a club near you, and eat your vegetables.
Eat your vegetables. You heard it here first. Hey,
Especially before you come to the club. Yeah. Before you get all unhealthy and all that.
I'm just imagining someone on the dance floor just smashing as many carrots as possible. Hey, thank you so much for this. I've had such a wonderful hour with you, and look, as I said, it was so special for me to share it with you. And then they say never meet your heroes, but I defy that because meeting you has been a total honor. Thank you.
Thanks.
Remember, whatever you do, may you do it with passion. And may we all truly endeavour to be kind to each other, the world around us, and ourselves. I've been DJ Be Kind to Other People with Mason. Play nice.